What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to Cowboys News TV, where we dive into all the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. I'm Dave, and today we've got something big to talk about. Rumors are swirling around the idea that the Cowboys should make a move for Arizona Cardinals safety, Budda Baker. Before we jump into the details, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your support is key to helping us grow. Our goal is to reach 12,000 subscribers, and with your help, we'll get there. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when new videos drop, and you'll stay up to date on everything Cowboys related. Let's make this happen, Cowboys Nation. Now, let's get into today's topic. Budda Baker, one of the top safeties in the NFL, has been linked to the Dallas Cowboys, and honestly, it could be a game-changing move. As many of you know, Baker is in the final year of his contract with the Cardinals, and it doesn't look like an extension is in the works. So, what does that mean? It means there's growing speculation that Arizona might look to move Baker before the trade deadline on November 5th. According to Bleacher Report, Baker is now listed as a top trade candidate. The Cardinals, despite their recent win, are not expected to make a playoff run this season, so it could make sense for them to trade away assets like Baker to start building for the future. But the big question is, could Budda Baker be a fit here in Dallas? Bleacher Report thinks so, and they're not wrong. The Cowboys' safety play has been shaky so far this season. Both Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker have struggled, with both of them posting grades below 60 from Pro Football Focus through the first 4 weeks. Cowboys Nation, it might be time to ask ourselves, do we need an upgrade at safety? And could Budda Baker be that solution? What do you think? Should the Cowboys go after Budda Baker? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Also, vote in our poll, do you think the Cowboys need a new safety, or should they stick with Wilson and Hooker for the rest of the season? Your opinions matter, and we want to hear from you. Now, back to the trade rumors. Budda Baker is a two-time first-team All-Pro, and he's known for his versatility, his ability to tackle, cover, and his leadership on the field. He's a proven star and could bring the kind of playmaking ability that would take the Cowboys' defense to the next level. But here's where things get tricky. The Cardinals reportedly wanted a second-round pick for Baker last offseason when he initially requested a trade. However, that price was never met. Now, heading into the trade deadline, the big question is, would the Cowboys be willing to part with valuable draft picks to make this trade happen? And more importantly, would the Cardinals lower their asking price? It's important to note that Baker himself has addressed these trade rumors. In a recent interview, Baker said that he's not really paying attention to the rumors and is just focused on playing the next game. He emphasized that he doesn't base his decisions on what the media or social media says, and he's living in the moment, focused on his performance with the Cardinals. So, what do you think, Cowboys Nation? Is Budda Baker worth giving up a second-round pick, or do you think we should wait for a better deal? Let us know in the comments below. Plus, let's get another poll going. If you were the Cowboys GM, what would you be willing to trade for a player like Budda Baker? A second-round pick? Maybe a third? Or do you think the Cowboys should stand pat and focus on other areas of need? While Baker continues to keep his head down and focus on his game, the Cardinals have less than a month to decide whether they'll move him before the trade deadline. General Manager Monty Ossenfort has said that the team isn't closing the door on contract extensions, but the clock is ticking. Could we see a blockbuster trade happen before November 5th? Now, if the Cowboys do pull the trigger on this trade, it could have huge implications for the rest of the season. Adding a player like Budda Baker could instantly improve our secondary and give Dan Quinn more flexibility to get creative with his defensive schemes. Baker could be that missing piece that helps us match up against high-powered offenses as we push for a deep playoff run. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Could Budda Baker be the key to taking this defense to the next level? How would you feel about adding him to the mix with Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons? Let's discuss it in the comments. And don't forget to smash that like button if you're excited about the potential of this move. These are just rumors for now, but they're not out of the realm of possibility. Budda Baker is a proven star who could make a massive impact in Dallas. Whether or not the Cowboys pull the trigger remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure, it's an exciting time to be a Cowboys fan. With the trade deadline approaching, anything could happen. Key matchups to watch. As we head into this highly anticipated Week 6 matchup, there are a few key battles on the field that could determine whether the Cowboys come out victorious or fall to 3-2 on the season. Let's break them down. Cowboys secondary versus Amon-Ra St. Brown. All eyes will be on the Cowboys secondary this Sunday, as they prepare to face Detroit's top receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. St. Brown has quickly established himself as one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and he's a nightmare to cover in man-to-man situations. With Darren Bland potentially playing on a limited snap count, the Cowboys will have to find a way to keep St. Brown in check. Dallas defensive coordinator Dan Quinn has done a phenomenal job scheming for elite receivers in the past, but this will be one of his tougher tests. Expect to see a mix of double coverage and zone looks to keep St. Brown from finding open lanes in the middle of the field, where he's been most effective. The return of Bland couldn't come at a better time, but as mentioned earlier, he may not be at 100%. This means Jordan Lewis and Stephon Gilmore will need to step up and provide solid coverage on St. Brown and the Lions' other weapons, including Josh Reynolds and tight end Sam Laporta. Cowboys offensive line versus Lions pass rush. On the other side of the ball, the Cowboys offensive line will have their hands full with a fierce Lions pass rush led by defensive end Aiden Hutchinson. Hutchinson has been one of the best young pass rushers in the NFL this season, and he's a constant threat to disrupt the quarterback. This is where the return of Tyler Guyton becomes so important. If Guyton is able to play and hold up against Hutchinson, it'll give Dak Prescott more time in the pocket to make smart decisions. However, if Guyton is still hobbled or if he's limited in any way, the Cowboys will need to provide extra help on the offensive line, whether that's through additional blockers or keeping running backs into chip on passing plays. The Lions know that if they can pressure Prescott, they can force mistakes, and Dallas cannot afford turnovers in a game of this magnitude. Dallas run defense versus Lions ground game. One of the biggest issues for the Cowboys over the past few weeks has been their run defense, which will be tested yet again against a Lions team that likes to establish the run. Detroit's backfield is led by the dynamic duo of David Montgomery and rookie sensation Jahmyr Gibbs. Both backs bring a different skill set to the table, with Montgomery providing the power and Gibbs offering the speed and versatility. The Cowboys' front seven will need to focus on gap integrity and tackling fundamentals. Micah Parsons' health will play a big role here, as he's one of the team's best run defenders. With Marshawn Kneeland now on injured reserve and DeMarcus Lawrence still sidelined, players like Osa Odigizua and newly promoted Carl Lawson will be key in stuffing the run. If Dallas can force the Lions to become one-dimensional, it will make it easier to contain Jared Goff and the passing game. Can Dak Prescott find his rhythm? While the defense will have their hands full, the pressure is also on Dak Prescott to get the Cowboys' offense back on track. After a shaky performance against the Steelers in Week 5, where turnovers and missed opportunities were major issues, Prescott will need to be sharper against the Lions. Detroit's secondary, led by cornerback Cam Sutton and safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson, has been opportunistic all season long, forcing turnovers at key moments. Prescott will need to protect the football and make smart reads to avoid giving the Lions' defense any easy scoring chances. The key for Dak will be getting CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup involved early. Both receivers have the ability to create separation, but it's up to Prescott to deliver the ball on time. If the Cowboys can establish the passing game early, it'll open up running lanes for Tony Pollard, who will be looking to bounce back after a quiet game last week. Tony Pollard versus Detroit's front seven. Speaking of Pollard, this could be a huge opportunity for him to have a breakout game. The Lions' defense is ranked in the middle of the pack when it comes to stopping the run, and Pollard has the speed and elusiveness to take advantage of any gaps in the defense. Look for offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer to get creative with Pollard, using him not only as a traditional running back but also as a weapon in the passing game. Screens, checkdowns, and outside zone runs could all be on the menu as the Cowboys look to get Pollard into space where he can do the most damage. Cowboys Nation, how do you feel about Tony Pollard's usage so far this season? Do you think he's getting enough touches, or would you like to see him more involved in the offense? Let us know in the comments. Final injury report. With Wednesday's practice now in the books, here's a quick look at some of the key injury updates for the Cowboys. Darren Bland, limited in practice, expected to play in a limited role. Tyler Guyton, practicing despite a knee injury, status for Sunday still uncertain. Micah Parsons, working with the rehab group, but expected to play. Marshawn Kneeland, officially placed on injured reserve, meniscus. DeMarcus Lawrence, still out, 3 games remaining before he can return. On the Lions side, Amon-Ra St. Brown and running back Jahmyr Gibbs are both expected to play after dealing with minor injuries, which means Dallas will face Detroit at nearly full strength. What to watch for against the Lions? With so much at stake, this game could very well come down to a few critical plays. Whether it's a timely sack from Micah Parsons, a game-changing interception by Darren Bland, or a long touchdown pass from Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb, every moment will count. The Lions are no pushover, and they're coming into this game with plenty of confidence. But the Cowboys know how important it is to bounce back after last week's struggles, especially with a home game in front of their fans at AT&T Stadium. A win here could set the tone for the rest of the season. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Will Dallas pull off the win against Detroit and regain momentum, or do you think the Lions will hand them another tough loss? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to vote in our community poll. Wrapping up. That's all for today's episode of Cowboys News TV. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing Cowboys community on YouTube. We're nearly at 12,000 subscribers, and we need your help to get there. Every like, comment, and share helps us grow, and we can't thank you enough for your support. We'll be back with more updates as we get closer to game day, so stay tuned. Until next time, go Cowboys!